Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. So as we all know, Disney Plunge... Why do I keep wanting to say Disney Plunge? Like, what even is that? So as we all know, Disney Plus launches this Tuesday for those of us in the US, Canada, and the Netherlands. And I was kind of struggling for a bit figuring out which video I wanted to make next. Like, I was struggling to find an inspiration. And then the other day I was just like, you know what? I'm really excited for Disney Plus. And so I'm just gonna make a video talking about what I'm excited about. And so that's what we're doing today. So I'm only going to be focusing on Disney Channel in this video because that's kind of like my thing, and I'm only going to be including titles that have been officially confirmed by Disney Plus because I feel like there's been a lot of stuff that's just been rumored, but we don't really know for sure until Tuesday comes around. And I know content is probably going to vary based on your location, and so I hope all of these titles are going to be available for everybody, but we really won't know until Tuesday. So with all that being said, let's just jump right into it.
Isn't it funny how people on TV lead the most amazingly perfect lives?
So for number 10, I have True Confessions. Now this is a DCOM that I watched quite recently and I was just blown away by how good it was. And while I am excited to rewatch this on Disney Plus, I'm even more excited for the people that are going to get introduced to it for the first time because I just feel like it's so underrated and doesn't get talked about nearly enough. So the movie stars Clara Bryant, who some of you may know from the very first DCOM, which is Under Wraps, which for some reason hasn't been confirmed for Disney Plus yet, which is really weird because it's like the first DCOM ever. But she plays True, who is this high school filmmaker who is entering this film contest, and she decides to do a film about her brother Eddie, who I don't think they say what he has. I think he's just kind of described as mentally impaired. And Eddie is also played by Shia LaBeouf. I feel like I forgot to mention that, but it's a very important factor because it's Shia LaBeouf and we love him. And so it is a really great movie. It almost doesn't really feel like a DCOM, but it does still in a way because it is a DCOM. And it's really just a great movie. I would highly recommend it. So I've actually only seen the first season of Tangled and I absolutely loved it. And I've wanted to watch the second season for so long because I've heard so many good things about it, but it was just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I should watch that, but then I never actually would get around to watching it. And so once it's on Disney Plus, I'll have to like make a day to just sit down and watch the second season because it is just a great show, great songs. And yeah, I'm excited to see what goes down in season 2. This is another one of my favorite DCOMs of all time, and I'm so excited for it to be on Disney Plus so I can rewatch it as many times as I want because it's just so good. And when I saw this movie for the first time, I went in knowing absolutely nothing, and I feel like that made the movie so much better, and so I honestly don't want to say anything about the plot, but I will mention that it does star two iconic DCOM actresses, Courtney Draper from 13th Year and Tamara Hope from Pixel Perfect, and they are just amazing in this film. They make it that much better. It's just really great, and if you haven't seen it and you watch it for the first time on Disney Plus, please tweet me what you thought about it because I just want to hear it and I want to talk about this movie because I just love it. It's great. So I think this is one of, if not the best DCOM of all time, and if you haven't seen it, please go watch it when it's on Disney Plus because I just feel like it's so underrated and needs to be talked about more. It follows Jake, who is played by Andrew, which you may recognize as he is one of the Lawrence brothers, and he plays a character who is blind and has just switched schools and wants to take up a new extracurricular, and so he decides to take up wrestling. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking, ew, sports movie, because I hate sports movies, but I love this movie so much, and so I'm so excited to rewatch it. So like I mentioned in my Halloween video, I didn't really grow up watching Even Stevens, and I thought that that was because of my age, but then I had a lot of comments from people saying that they were the same age as me and they watched a bunch of Even Stevens growing up, and so maybe I just have a bad memory. I'm not really sure, but I definitely remember watching the movie a lot, and so I'm just so excited to be able to kind of rediscover the show for the first time because it is just so good and I really don't know anything about it. And I don't know if it's been confirmed or not if we are getting the full series or just like the first or second season, but I really hope that we are getting the full series so I can watch it in full and fully appreciate the magic that is Even Stevens, and also so that when I watch Chrissy's Kitchen Throwback, I will understand all of the references. So I was super excited about this show when it first came out, and I remember watching the first few episodes and absolutely loving it, but then I guess it was kind of a similar situation to Tangled the series where it just kind of stopped becoming a priority for me in terms of like what I would seek out to watch. But the storyline was really great and the animation was great. It was basically about Anne, who was voiced by Brenda Song, and her character gets transferred into this like magical world of amphibians, and it was a great show. I really enjoyed it, and so I'm really excited to revisit it once it's on Disney Plus. Now this is a show that I've had on my radar for a while now. I've just never really gotten around to watching it, and so when it was announced for Disney Plus, I was so excited to like see what this show is all about because it was one of the very first Disney Channel original series. It's basically about this girl who is on tour with her mom because her mom's like a rock star, and she keeps encountering these supernatural things like UFOs and ghosts and stuff like that, and so she writes all about it on this site that she has called So Weird. And it also stars a lot of actors from some of the older DCOMs, and I'm just really intrigued by this show and I'm really excited to check it out. this is a show that I've talked before about in my Disney Channel Around the World video, as it is a Disney Channel UK show, and it follows this girl who moves to this manor in the UK and then spooky stuff starts to happen. And I did watch the first episode a few years back and I didn't really like it, but I've thought about revisiting it a few times, and so I was really excited when it was announced for Disney Plus. It's also one of the few international shows that have been confirmed for the network, and so it gives me more hope that more shows will be added, like The Lodge and Penny on Mars and Alex & Co, because those are all English shows or shows that have been translated into English. And then the real optimist in me hopes this means we'll get more international shows on the network that haven't been translated yet, like Soy Luna, Bia, and Joakis, but nothing has really been confirmed yet. I know that there has been some rumors that Soy Luna will be on the service within the first year, but until anything's been confirmed, I guess we kind of just gotta wait and see. So if you follow me on any of my socials, which you totally should, I'm at Kate Loves Disney literally everywhere, so I'm super easy to find. But if you do follow me, you'd probably know that I just recently finished Violetta, and the finale was so good that it literally became one of my favorite Disney Channel shows of all time. Unfortunately, I believe only the first season is going to be up on launch day, which kind of sucks because that's probably my least favorite out of the three. But I do think the first season gets better as you watch it, and looking back, I have nothing but fond memories towards it, and I can't wait to rewatch episodes once it is up on Disney Plus. And for those of you who have never heard about Violetta before, it is a telenovela from Disney Channel Latin America about this girl who goes to this performing arts school called The Studio. There's lots of great music, lots of great ships, and lots of drama, and it just is one of my favorite shows. It's so good. And I believe it is going to be available both in Spanish with English subtitles and with the English dub. I personally watched the dub and I didn't think it was that bad. I definitely think it got better as the show went on. This is the first show that really gave me like withdrawals after I finished the show. Like there was a good few days after I finished it that I just felt like really sad and I didn't really know what to do with myself. And so if that doesn't tell you how good this show is, like I'm not too sure what would. So before we move on to the number one thing I'm most excited about, I do have 4 kind of honorable mentions / shoutouts that I'm really excited about. The first being the Freaky Friday remake from 2018. It's got great songs and I just love that movie so much and I'm so excited to rewatch it. The second being the Disney XD show Kickin' It. I've only seen the first episode, but I really liked it and I'm really excited to watch more of it. And third is another one of my favorite DComs of all time called Go Figure. It is so good and I cannot wait to rewatch it a million times because it's great and I love it. And I also wanted to give a special shout out to the Lizzie McGuire reboot that's currently in production. I am really looking forward to seeing how that turns out, and I'm so happy that Matt and her parents have been confirmed to be part of the cast because it looks like a really interesting reboot and I'm really excited about it. So as I'm sure all of you probably guessed, number one is of course High School Musical, the musical, the series. I've had such high hopes for this ever since it was announced, which I feel like is probably a bad thing, but I honestly don't care because I do think it is going to be amazing. And I know that they did recently premiere the first episode on TV, but I avoided watching it and I've been avoiding any spoilers because I've just had this vision of me staying up till midnight on launch day and watching it the minute I get into Disney Plus. And so I'm going to be doing that. I'm really excited about it. I think the cast looks amazing. It kind of gives me telenovela vibes in a way, particularly the telenovela called Go from Netflix, which is probably mainly because Go also gives me High School Musical vibes, but I just feel like this series is going to be geared slightly more to an older audience because they are also appealing to everybody that grew up with the movies as well. Overall, I'm just really excited. I've heard nothing but good things about the first episode, so I just think it's going to be great. But I want to know what you're going to be watching first on Disney Plus, so don't forget to leave that in the comments down below. I can't wait to read all about it. Anyways, guys, my name is Caitlin. You can follow me everywhere at Kate Loves Disney. Don't forget to subscribe and turn that bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. But that's all I'd say for today. Hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.
Hey, Caitlin.
What?
Yep.